A different setup today. My daughter's in the process of moving out into a place and getting ready to start new jobs next week. And it's been kind of chaos. So we've got stuff strewn around in the apartment. And so we are actually in our room, cuddled up, because I can't access my desk today. We shifted stuff around so she'd have some more room to move stuff. And so we're taking a break from the desk. But I have some good news. I will have my desktop computer supposedly by tomorrow if UPS hasn't updated back to Monday, because originally it was by the 24th. So I will be able to do my live streams fully and be able to game again. I haven't been able to game in 3 months. So yeah. Massive withdrawals, plus work and being able to, do the things that I need on Adobe and all that. So, yay. But it's kind of a whirlwind here right now. All good things. So, very happy. But, so I get to snuggle up because he's over here. But, so do you want to go first with your books, or do you want me to go first?
Whichever.
Okay. I did, by the way, I'll post a link to it. I did an interview podcast last night on Star Chamber, which is always fun. It's Holly and Steven that own the Imaginarium in Louisville, which is coming up in July 8th through the 10th, that we will actually be at in person this year. So I'm looking forward to it, and it'll be a nice little get away with the hotel and everything. So, which they have sold out this year, which is great. But okay, so books, I have comics, technically graphic novels. Hilda. So Netflix, I think, came out with the series, the animated series, which I absolutely love. But these are the books. There's 2 more that I have that are in hardcover that I couldn't access. And these are just, I love Hilda so much. Hilda is fun. Hilda's very simple. Very fun stories. Great artwork throughout. The animated series looks just like the books, which is great. Very nature-based, very Scandinavian vibe, and one of my favorite comics. Probably my most favorite comic. So I really love that one. But like I said, there's 5 so far, I think. They're supposed to be coming out with more. There is not a list. And I love how they did, like, me and Pattern, how they did the actual end papers for these is really cute.
Mm-hmm.
With the book plate kind of built in. I still have the price tag on that. Get that from the used bookstore. And
that one's a bit darker.
Mr. Woodman. I can't remember his character's name.
Woodman.
Woodman.
I thought. I could be wrong, but I thought you just called him Woodman or something.
But great books. So those are my favorites. Those are my ones for today, since we're kind of like winging it.
I have a couple of things for linguistic nerds this morning. It's the best way I can describe these. Let me do this one first. This is J.R.R. Tolkien's Unfinished Tales. I'm not sure where those were pulled from. I don't know if those were compilings of notes and papers that were wherever it is that he was writing, whether it was his attic or whatever at the time, when his son went in and, you know, kind of tried to organize everything, he found all kinds of notebooks and things with all kinds of extra goodies and everything. And so the Silmarillion was published, I believe, posthumously. This and several other things were published posthumously after J.R.R. passed in, I believe it was, what, the 90s?
This was published in 1980.
That says 80, yeah. So that was, if that's the first publication, then that would have been right around the time he passed, yeah. Between 80 and 84, because I believe the first publication for Silmarillion was 84.
I'm not sure. I will Google it.
But
even in the small book,
there's some beautiful stories in there also. Stuff they just could not fit in the Lord of the Rings, as long as those 3 books are all together. There's an account from Gandalf to Frodo on the ring wraiths in there. There's stories of Galadriel and Celeborn, and there's the story of how there's one in there from, it's actually on the one of the ones mentioned on the back. I believe it's the Second Age mentioned on the back, that sounds very much like a description of the Davy Jones tale. There, the one in love with the sea, but had a love back on land, but loved the sea more, and so yeah, there's that whole thing. Mm-hmm. There's a story, I believe it's that Second Age tale there mentioned that sounds an awful lot like something like that. So apparently those kinds of stories have been in circulation much longer. So
and there's like a 3-4 page notes and introduction by Christopher Tolkien.
Mm-hmm.
That pretty much goes into all the things, but the first line on here says the problems that confront one given responsibility for the writings of a dead author are hard to resolve. So I can't imagine that was anywhere an easy task, and I don't know how meticulous Tolkien was, or if he just had notes strewn everywhere.
Christopher had to go in and
if he was
edit
a creative,
everything.
Yeah, if he was a creative and just what his office looked like.
Yeah.
If he had
an
organizational system that only made sense to him.
Yep.
Or if everything was meticulously organized, or which I can't imagine. I can imagine as an academic having things organized, but as a writer, as a creative, having it disorganized.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have a feeling it was beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
But chaos.
Yes.
Nonetheless, so I can't imagine.
And the most basic understanding that I have is that he had to go in and edit a lot of things. Some of it was left unedited. Some of it was not. The Silmarillion was had minor edits to it, just so that it has editing for punctuation and But I can't imagine that man had too many problems with grammar.
Yeah.
The man spoke.
What does his handwriting look like, though?
Yeah. That's the other thing.
I can't even.
Because a lot of this stuff was in notebooks. Can you imagine what this stuff looks like? Although it'd be interesting to see what his penmanship looked like.
I have transcribed stuff before.
Yeah.
And an older academic.
Yeah.
Like my mother's handwriting, as she's gotten older, has started to look like my grandmother's.
Oh,
and my grandmother's style was very much, back then you had the guide on the wall, and they were meticulous about making sure that your handwriting
looked like what was on the wall.
So a lot of that generation, their handwriting looks very similar, very reminiscent of each other.
Which is interesting because
but,
when you look at anything that there would be left, I don't think there's anything left, but anything from me.
Kill it with fire.
Anyway, anything from that I would have worked on that was schoolwork or anything that I would have written prior to about junior year of high school, sophomore year of high school, my cursive writing looks a lot like what you would see on the wall, like in a first or second grade classroom. That big string of letters with the capital and the lowercase.
And did they try to get you to switch hands? Because you and I are both lefties.
No.
My fifth grade.
No, they weren't doing that by 1987, 1986. So
yeah, my fifth grade teacher.
And not in public school, they weren't.
Tried to get me to switch, and my mom's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, and
not happening.
The printing that I use now, especially if I'm taking my time, looks a lot like what I started using my sophomore year of high school, rather than just what I was writing in as a kid, because my printing more now looks more like the drafting letters that they had us using my sophomore year of high school for my drafting course, because I had to like letter everything to look like it had been on an engineer's blueprint. So my handwriting got more free moving and my printing got more exact, which is kind of strange.
Yeah. I had this kind of rounded handwriting most of my childhood, like very
like
swirly,
bubbly, I knew several girls who had like really like rounded writing, they had like very bubbly looking.
Yeah.
And then there were probably a few girls in like junior high and stuff where their letters just completely turned into like balloon letters.
I didn't do the balloon letter thing so much as I did the there for a brief instance I did like the little curl like Issa does, or like Issa used to do the little kind of a curly Q kind of thing on some of the letters. But then I ended up in college I was doing architectural design when I first went to community college. And so my handwriting got very blocky, and by the time I had Issa, most of the time I was writing in all caps. Unless I was writing really fast. If I was actually writing a book or writing something like that, then my handwriting was I had my own kind of shorthand. Heaven forbid anybody try to transcribe mine after I'm gone. They'll be able to read it from across the room, but half the words won't make any sense. But thankfully I transcribed most of it into the computer. But, after that, I was writing in all caps. And funny short story, I homeschooled Issa from when she was 3 until now. We're doing the college stuff, so she's getting the benefits of my master's degree and my grad certificate without having to get the school loans. I was teaching, I was like, oh, this is really, she's learning how to letter and do this, that, and the other, and why is she writing in all caps? Oh, I forgot to teach her how to write lowercase. So I had to go in and do that. But that was just a brief period of time. It was just kind of an epiphany of like, why is she writing in all caps? Oh.
Actually,
you didn't teach her.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because I had a friend in high school from the Philippines, and that was the only way that he wrote, was all in printed capital letters like you would see in ancient Roman. But all of his English writing was all in these capital English letters. There were no lowercase letters at all. And that was the way he wrote, and he took notes that way. I'm like, how do you write that fast that way?
Yeah.
Because he would take notes during...
small?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's why.
yeah,
That's
like-
why he's fast.
like
is because
this big. Yeah.
the lettering is really small.
Like on
He's
a-
not doing these big, huge
Yeah,
letters.
like
we
his
typically
letters
do.
didn't take up half the height of a line on a regular sheet of notebook paper. Yeah.
I've had Asian friends that have
Mhm.
written like that, and their handwriting is immaculate. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You can read it from across the room, even if it's tiny. When they do kanji, it's gorgeous.
Mhm.
It's absolutely gorgeous. So, but
Yeah.
what's your nerdy
This one
Latin
is
book here? I love this one.
one for the Latin speakers out there. This is Extreme Latin by Henry Beard, or Henricus Barbatus, rather. It says, "Unleash your inner gladiator," and this is
everything from pickup lines.
This is everything from pickup lines to grocery lists to swear words in the back of the book. I mean, it's everything.
It's hysterical.
Absolutely amazing. Stealth Latin, business Latin, attack ads, Latin for Trekkies. There's a section in here on Latin for Trekkies. Now, if that is not nerdy enough, then I don't know what is. But I found this little book, hardcover, years and years ago. I've had that book probably almost 18 years now. Found that book after I'd been in my Latin courses in college, so we're looking at like 2000, 2001, thereabouts. What? What'd you see?
Okay, read this in Latin. Don't say the other one.
It says, Obucina fracta expecta signum digiti.
This is horn broken, watch for finger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty much. You can put that on a bumper sticker, and people have to look
There's
it up.
one here is like, my child can beat the crap out of your would-be honor student. Bumper stickers. This is great.
There's a
I'd
whole
read it
section
before,
on
but some of it is just
graffiti.
chilling out, graffiti, trash talk in the Coliseum. We're not going to go into that one.
Mhm.
Reality TV, the bumper stickers. I'd rather be pillaging.
I'd rather be pillaging. Yep. I think that goes for Vikings too.
Visualize world conquest. Keep honking, I'm reloading. The horn broken, watch her finger, though, was funny. Barbarian on board.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the aqueduct, save the unicorns. I break for lunch. If you can read this, I lost my trailer.
Mm-hmm.
There's some in here that I can't repeat that are absolutely hysterical.
That's okay. I found one in there too that basically says,
Good morning.
says da mihi omnia pecunia, habeo catapultum. So it's basically, I have a catapult, give me all the money. More or less. Which is great.
Oh my gosh. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
So I remembered some of them were funny, but I didn't remember them being that funny.
They are all funny.
There's some
Almost
really,
all of them are funny.
Yeah. And they go into a Latin terms in modern English, legal Latin, medical Latin.
Oh yes, yes there are. All the way in the back,
Political,
there's a whole section in there. Yeah.
Ecclesiastical, botanical, goes into diphthongs and vowels, and that's all actually in the front of the book. And then there's a beginning Latin. There's Romulus and Remus jokes. There's Legion of Superheroes, T-shirt slogans.
T-shirt slogans are great.
The I'd rather be pillaging though cracks me up. But very, very, very cute little book.
Yeah. Not too pricey, and you could probably find it used anymore too. I think I paid about 8 or 12 for that.
So if you want to shout insults at somebody in classical Latin,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a dead language. I use it every day.
Exactly.
It's just for.
And I did for a very, very long time.
Yes,
and
there's
when I
lots-
play
lots
Minecraft,
of-
I still do.
There's
so
lots of stuff like that. Yeah, he actually plays
Yeah.
Minecraft.
you can
in
set the
Latin.
language setting to Latin for Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he does that all the time. That's the other thing I can't wait to get
And then
back
all of
to.
your inventory is all in Latin. All your blocks, everything are all in Latin. It's fantastic. So, but it forces you to photo identify what the word is with what the thing is. You know.
Yeah. But there's a section in here called useful syntax that I can't repeat. I mean, I can. This isn't, but this is kind of a family friendly. Most of my stuff I try to keep family friendly. Yeah. But George Carlin would be proud.
Yes.
Because every single one of them has the F-bomb in it. And some of them are pretty funny. If you get a chance, check this book out.
Those are proper too. Like, there's
even a
the ablative absolute.
Roman if.
The ablative absolute. It's literally the proper syntax grammar for, like ablative absolute, passive paraphrastic, the things that they taught you using normal words in English, in Latin, in school, and then they're taking insults basically and structuring them in the kinds of syntax that you learned in school in Latin class, where it might be offset by a comma and then a phrase following it, like ablative absolute would appear, things like that, which is an archaic and unused form in English for the most part.
So it says you may be Roman if the only vegetarian you ever met had hooves. You have a statue of yourself holding a sword in one hand and the severed head of a Belgian in the other. You know anyone who married his own mother or was raised by wolves. You think only superstitious sissies are afraid of volcanoes. You've ever used a chariot in a bar fight. You often forget what you were going to say before you get to the verb. Nerd humor. Your car has sword blades welded to its wheels. The chariot in the bar fight, though, is hysterical. You think it would be really cool to be Greek? You stay home all day if you see a woodpecker over your left shoulder or hear an owl.
That's interesting.
Yeah. There are usually about 300 other people in the tub when you take a bath. So there's restaurant-tude. My name is Sir. I'll be your customer tonight. There's just, oh my gosh, this whole thing is just a riot.
I mean, you don't find it, and you don't find it, most of the time, you don't find this in the language section of stores.
It's over in jokes.
You'll find this in humor. But if you have to, though, because some used bookstores will just shelve it with the other Latin books in the Latin section with language. So you might need to do some digging, or you could just look it up on Amazon. I'm sure they'll just send you one, but yeah, there's some pretty awesome stuff in here.
There's New Age Discourse, Hollywood Latin. Just, oh my gosh, some of this stuff is so funny. Chilling out, what's up? Is, I'm not going to do the pronunciation.
Quaggies!
So that old commercial, who was that?
Wasabi! I don't even remember who that is.
Where they're all like doing the what's up on the phone. And the one Japanese chef, the sushi chef, was wasabi! And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite out of all of them. Loved it. Talk to the hand, the face don't understand. Black togas are cool. Want to see my sword collection?
They literally made the conversation here. You see this?
Yeah.
Says nothing. Watching the game. Nihilego ludo specto. True. Vero. Yeah, I mean, they literally continued the conversation here. It's fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Country music favorites. If your phone doesn't ring, it's me.
Oh, that's just wrong. Si telefonium non trinitat ego voco.
See, I'm just using this as an excuse to
Which
get him
is-
to talk,
which is
Latin.
you know,
'Cause
pretty
I
much I'm
hearing it.
which is like I'm calling you, you know, or I'm calling
Yeah.
ego voco. I'm calling.
If today was a fish, I'd throw it back.
Yeah.
You gotta read it.
Si días odiernos et piscis reacierum.
Oh my gosh, how can I miss you if you won't go away? And this is the
Burn!
Country, this is the country music favorites. This
Yeah.
isn't even the
Yeah.
this isn't even the burn section.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of them I cannot read. Really funny, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
So definitely get a copy of this one just to read it, because check it out at the library or something, because it's just, oh my gosh. I'm wondering if because he wrote another one called Latin for All Occasions.
For all occasions. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to look and see if there's any other stuff.
The suggested retail on this says $17.50, but I know I didn't pay that, and used in good condition, you still could probably find them for
a couple
half of that or less. So yeah.
But that's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Good. I've had that a long time. That book's almost 20 years old now, at least.
I will link to that in the beginning. But
when did he publish that? I'm just looking at the date now.
So projects that are going on right now. Of course, my daughter is moving, so I am
2004.
Once she that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Once she gets things sorted out, she's going to come back over and help me kind of finalize my studio. So I'm going to have a studio again after years. And I'm not really, I definitely feel it that she's not here, but I'm not full on like, my daughter is gone, kind of empty nest thing, which is a real thing. And I'm not making fun of that for anybody. I just know that, if that was me, I'd be ugly crying all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter's moving 2 miles down the road, and it actually opens it up for opportunities for us to, she has her creative space, I have my creative space, and we can share the studio. So when she wants to come over, we have the equipment set up, and gives us opportunities to, meet up at the farmer's market on Saturday morning and go shopping and, get together and have lunch, and that, so it opens up a new mom-daughter dynamic. And I know for the first while she's going to be texting me probably every day. I think it's hitting her more than it's hitting me.
She called last night.
So far.
Yeah.
She
called last night just to say goodnight and,
Yeah. So it's
whatever.
just...
So, yeah.
It's not... She's not... Like, if they moved out of state, then I would definitely be like... But... And I am already doing, like, when she first started staying over at the other apartment, I would go to say something to her and realize that, wait a minute, she's not here. And it wasn't really bittersweet. It was just, I'll just text her kind of thing. It was, I don't know how to describe it. I do care that she's gone.
Yeah.
I wish she'd had a little more transition time, but we wanted to get things settled to where this week, to where I can move my desk in and have that set up before the new computer gets here. And we have company coming from out of state next month, and we want to overhaul things to where, if people want to stay here, they can. And just, I think I'm too busy. We're both too busy to really let it sink in yet. But with her not being here, like I said, the dynamic is different. We have more opportunities and more desire to want to do stuff together, because of the fact that we're not in each other's faces 24/7, you know. Um, but I'm excited to see, you know, her just, I know she's just going to go supernova and just fly. She starts the one job at the college next week, and then the bookstore opens on June 4th. Not the 1st, but June 4th. And she'll be working part-time between the college and the bookstore at that point. And then hopefully go full-time with the bookstore. So we're excited. We've got a brand new bookstore opening called Tailless Books here in Berea. I'll link to them. It's a new bookstore. It's not a used bookstore. So, you know, he and I are already like wanting to dive in first into the stacks because we don't have to drive to Lexington to get books or go in a bookstore now. I'm hoping they have like comfy seats and different things. I haven't talked to Susan to find out what their layout is. Yeah. But you know, so we've got that coming. I don't have a date yet, but I am going to be doing a book signing over there. They've already talked to me about it, and I've already sent over the press stuff. Sometime in June, probably, maybe early July, depending on scheduling. Trying to think what else is going on. Issa and I are looking at starting Two Crows Market. We aren't going to be able to do a storefront for a long time. We do want to open a shop called Two Crows. Two Crows for Joy is the reference. And so the market is something that the community has wanted to have another maker's market here. It's something that I've been planning for a really long time, and then I burnered it because I got involved with the show that did start up here in 2016, 2017, that I was co-organizer with for a few years. And then I stepped away, and then COVID hit, and we didn't have any kind of shows. So we're getting back into, you know, out into the world and getting back into doing those plans. So with the brown coats, we're going to be showing Serenity at the Judy Drive-In Theater. I don't have a date yet. We're working on that. And we're looking at the Kentucky Theater as well. So we might have 2 showings if the Kentucky Theater decides to start running the theater out again. Right now, they haven't decided. They haven't been doing that yet. I am going to have a LGBTQ Pride show at the Berea Arts Council. We're looking to do a hanging mid-June, right before our social event that we're doing over there. I'm the festival chair for the Berea Pride Committee, or for Berea Pride, and have a committee that I'm working with that's been wonderful. And so we've been doing that, and we're going to have events every month leading up to their Pride event, which is in October. It's actually the weekend of our wedding anniversary, so there's a mixer that we can go to on our anniversary night, and then the next day is a festival, and then that Sunday is a parade. So I'm involved with that. There will be a zine fest. I don't know that it's going to start this year, but definitely within like the first part of next year or this year, depending on what's going on with Two Crows Market. So I will have more information about that on my social media. I am Renmeleon everywhere. He is Popper Knight on Facebook and Instagram, technically. He's not really on Instagram, but he's pseudo on Instagram. His Facebook is connected now. He's also on Twitter. And I have links to everything down below. But I'll update with the books and other stuff we talked about today. And we're doing, which coffee are we doing today? Is that Post Alley? Post Alley. We have plans to go to Lexington to go to Badass Coffee Company of Hawaii. And there's a couple other places I want to pick up some coffee. So we're going to have some new stuff to review. We haven't really made a huge effort to get any more coffee, different coffees. But this is pretty much what we have for today. I will link in the description below afterwards. hopefully next week we'll actually be at my desk. Things will be a little more settled after this weekend. But stay well, stay safe. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for more Coffee with Panda. And my next live stream is actually going to be Tuesday next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will not have a Twitch live stream on Saturday unless I can set the camera up to work with us while we're working. We are doing Live at the Wolf. This is the first one that we're doing. My daughter and I are doing commissions for D&D magic item cards, and then she's doing character portraits. So you don't have to be there to do a commission. You can do it through any of our sites. She's rockpaperfox.com. Again, there's going to be a link in the description below for Live at the Wolf, and it's Bad Wolf Gaming in Berea, Kentucky. So from 1 to 5, we'll be there today. Or, not today.
No, not today.
Saturday from 1 to 5, and every third Saturday of the month, except for June, because that falls on Isa's 21st birthday weekend, so we're not going to be doing it then, but I'll make an announcement. Otherwise, it's every third Saturday from 1 to 5 Eastern Standard. So get in touch with me if you want to drop me a note below, if you want either one of us to do commission a card or do a character design. I think she's going to start doing character sheets as well later on. She does some beautiful work, and that's not just being biased. She's really good. She blows me away. But I will let y'all go. We will let you go. Thank you. Take care. Have a great weekend and a great week. Take care.
Take care.